Hey guys, Parfax here, and today we've got a video from the PTR. All right, let's get started. So I am back and I am in my hometown, and I've been on the PTR kind of dabbling around, trying to get caught up with as much as possible. And the first thing, and one of the things that I've been looking forward to the most, is playing around with the new skill on the bow and really looking at the perks and diving into what they've done to them. Now, there are some pretty good perks that got some nice updates, sort of, the update where we get a lot more damage, or the perks are a lot better if they're on their weapons. And there was a weapon I really wanted to test out to see if it was any good. Let's see if we can find it here. Nope, not that one. That's a sword. That's a life staff. We will find it here in a second. We got it pretty quickly. Right here it is. Keen Vicious Empowering Fireball, and Fireball Impact deals 57% additional damage. I think is massive. This is gonna change the game. This is gonna be a pretty nice buff to some weapons. I think this is gonna be a really cool, and I love what they've done. Having said that, there's some things I think that, well, New World really missed the mark. Now, if you know, I play the bow a lot. The bow is one of my favorite weapons. I have loved it pretty much the entire time that I've played. I played it in pre-alpha, I played it in alpha, I played it in beta, and I've played it on live a massive amount. But there's one thing on the bow, even though the bow's been completely, people think it is completely OP lately, there's been one thing that's really bad about the bow, and that are their perks. But they've reworked the perks. They've changed a ton. That must mean the bow perks are crazy. Well, let's check them out. Now, I know we can go look at the PTR patch notes, and you can see a lot of these, but we're going to go in, and the best way I find to do this is to just look at weapons here, and let's start going over the perks. Okay, so Empowering Explosive Shot. This is just the Splitter Shot. They turned it into Explosive Shot, and they basically didn't change it. So, okay, I mean, this wasn't a bad perk anyway. So let's look at another one. We got Evade Shot. That one was kind of a bad perk. Let's see if they... No, gained 4 to 19 stamina and reduced the cooldown by 3 to 14% after hitting an Evade Shot. So, okay, they add some cooldown reduction. Cool. It's not a bad perk, not a great perk. Fine. Enfeebling Poison Shot. This one was kind of bad as well. Poison Shot arrow also applies a weakened, reducing target's damage by... Okay, not changed at all. So we're not doing so well here, but I'm sure it gets better. I'm sure it's a lot better. We have Rain of Arrows. Slow and bleeds last 10 to 20% longer. Okay. Interesting. We'll see. This is actually a net increase in damage. So this is actually a PvE increase. This is a big group PvP increase. Fortifying Rain of Arrows was the old perk, and it was actually decent, but this one is a little bit, I don't know how the slow change, but the bleed 20% longer. Cool. So kind of, I don't want to say net even there. It's probably a little bit better. So, all right, we've got Penetrating Rapid Shot, increased armor penetration of all rapid shots attacks by 5 to 90%. This is actually a decent little buff to Rapid Shot. Not my favorite ability. I know a lot of people love it, but at least they didn't really change anything for it. They just gave it a little bit of penetration on the first few shots. This is going to be now pretty good against pretty heavier armored targets. So this is actually going to be, I think it's actually pretty good. Now the big one, Refreshing Penetrating Shot. They nerfed this ability so hard. They gave it away. They gave it stagger away. But I am sure when I look at this perk, it's going to be crazy. This perk was pretty much horrible unless you're doing, like, I don't know, invasions. But I'm sure they buffed it. I'm sure it's great. Penetrating Shot skills reduce this ability's cooldown by 3 to 14%. So nothing. They changed. So we had a huge rework. All over the forums, they said this perk was dumb. It was useless. This perk needs to be reworked. They said it. They said on the forums, we're gonna do the feedback. They came out with a a thing saying, hey, we're doing a lot of reworks on, perks. I'm sure this is going to be great. And they didn't change it. You nerf this skill super hard. This is basically now has no utility, is just a damaging small single target in a pathway damaging skill. It has no utility at all. The perk is absolutely garbage. Even, I just want to look at, okay, just so you guys can see, I know you may be thinking I'm overreacting, but I want to go over, I mean, I'm just going to be a mage from now on. That they're just telling me that I need to be a mage, because we're going to go over here to the Arcana station, and I want to look at the fire staff. Let's grab a fire staff. Let's look at refreshing pillar of fire. Where is it at? Refreshing pillar of fire. I cannot read, apparently. Refreshing. That's because we are on Void Gauntlet somehow. We want fire staff. We want to go to refreshing pillar of fire. Here we go. Reduces abilities cooldown by 3 to 14%. Oh, cool. Per enemy hit with pillar of fire. Max hits of 3. So this gives you 14% up to 3 per enemy hit. Per enemy hit. But refreshing pen shot that just got nerfed hard. It gave you now have basically no hard crowd control, and even do you even consider basically an instant interrupt a hard crowd control? I don't, but you took away pen shot's ability to stagger, which I'm fine with. Okay, but I'm fine with it if you make the weapon perk semi-useful. This perk is trash. I know I'm yelling. You guys are going to roast me in the comments, but I really don't care. This perk is trash. I'm okay with you nerfing it, even though everybody is like, woe is me. Can't run bow in arenas now. You know, it is what it is. You might be able to if this perk was even semi-good. This perk is dog crap. This is a horrible perk. I don't know how you went through all of this. You changed so many perks. You even have another weapon with this exact named perk with a 10 times better way. This can only get 14% if you kill somebody. That gets 14% per person hit. I would be even okay if this was a max of 1 or max of 2, because, you know, you can say refreshing pillar of fire has a longer cooldown. I don't even know the cooldowns. We'll say it's a longer cooldown, and it's harder to hit. I'm fine with that. Instead of a max of 3, how about a max of 2? Or even 1, make it like a 20% if you hit somebody. Max of 1. But no, you didn't change. You went through an entire rework of bow. You went through an entire rework of perks, and you still can't change this ability's perk. AGS, I don't understand. You have been doing so well and trying to make changes. I understand there's a lot of perks that probably could use some love, right? But you gave probably the worst perk for the bow no love, from reworking the bow to reworking the perks, and you still gave it absolutely nothing. AGS, please hear my calls for all my fellow bow players. Just give this some freaking cooldown reduction. Don't make it where you have to kill somebody. This is such a useless perk. The only time this is even good is in something like invasions. Invasions, this can be pretty decent. If you are one of those, you know, people that just want to pump your score up as high as possible, you can pen shot as the mobs come up. You can get your pen shot back kind of quickly. But other than that, this perk is absolutely trash. AGS, fix it. Like, comment, subscribe.